Hi there. We are going to dive right in and listen to some music in this course orientation by checking out a website that I really love called Cirrus Retro. Cirrus Retro is a website that gives you a chance to explore game audio of most super popular franchises from retro consoles like the Nintendo Entertainment System, the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. As you'll see in a second, it gives you an opportunity to really pick apart the audio. We'll just click on Super Mario, it's the first one, and you'll see all the consoles are listed out. We're going to do Super Mario Bros. 2 because it's the best one. If you don't know about it, this was released on the Nintendo Entertainment System in 1988, and what I really loved about this one, aside from the music and the fact that gameplay is just really fun, you could pick your character. You could be Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi. They were all there. If you click on the different titles, it'll pull up the song in question. Let's just check out the title screen. So we have kind of this dancey theme. I'm not going to use anything technical in this video just because I know this is our first video or first activity. You don't have to use anything technical. I just want you to kind of check these out, find a game you like. If you notice, there's these green boxes: square 1, square 2, triangle, noise, DMC. DMC in this track doesn't have anything on it, but the cool thing about Nintendo Entertainment System is that there were only a few channels. You can click on each of these, and if they're green, they're playing. If they're not green, they're not playing. And as you click on them, they can go away in real time, which is cool. So you have the two squares. Square waves usually have the melody. Triangle. Oops. The triangle wave has a slightly different role, more accompaniment. And the noise track is fun. I'm just going to keep restarting the music. So the noise track is literally kind of these not pitched sounds like square 1, square 2, and triangle. So you can do a lot of different versions. I think it's fun. This is just a 29-second track, so it would just take you a few minutes to listen to each layer on its own and kind of add them together. The square 1 on its own sounds like this, and then if you put square 1 and square 2 together, sounds a little thicker. There's a little harmony there. So this is what you'll do at first. You'll just kind of click around, maybe listen to each layer, and ask yourself things like, what's repeating? In this case, you hear a lot of this da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da sort of stuff, and also this bum 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 bum. And it's pretty repetitive because it's only a 30-second track to begin with, but this is a pretty repetitive introduction theme. So that's the first observation I would probably note down. As far as you know, it's good to kind of investigate what the gameplay is. If you know the game, you're going to probably know what the gameplay is for. The select your character music here, for example, is it's actually a pretty long track, but you're in that track for 3 seconds because you usually just pick the character and move on. There's a big theater stage sort of border, and then the 4 characters are standing there, and you can pick one and they put their hands up. Its vibe is kind of exciting. So these are things that you can note. Note it for a couple tracks, a couple games if you want. And yeah, that's Cirrus Retro. One caveat to this is I really love this website. Sometimes it's a little crashy and it times out and it's hard to access it. So what I'm going to do now is choose a couple games, and I'm just going to play with that game for a couple minutes so you can experience the different layers. So if the website's not working, you can still do the assignment. I encourage you to just try again in a couple hours. Usually the website's back up by then. So let's see. The first one we can check out. Why don't we do Zelda? And we'll do Link to the Past. That was a good game. This is a Super Nintendo game. As you can see, there's a lot more channels. Super Nintendo was just a more powerful console. Let's do Time of the Falling Rain and listen to the whole thing. Okay, it restarted. It went to the storm one actually, so we'll talk about that in a second. My thoughts, kind of a repetitive rhythm, short, short, long, and kind of ominous feeling. What's the difference between this one and Storm? Let's just hear. Okay, I think it seems the only difference is there's like a thunderstorm noise in track 5, so that's good to know. Okay, let's pick this one apart. Whoa. So as you can tell, these channels make very different sounds. Let's try DSP2. And it can be cool to just listen to the first 5 seconds or so. You don't have to spend the whole thing, just to see what's on the track. Cool, that one's really repetitive. All right, let's try DSP4. And then DSP5, always resetting to 0. Not much. Weirdly, sometimes the visualizer, this thing in the middle, will move, but nothing happens. So I don't know. Some of these tracks are just not used. Maybe they're used later. Let's try DSP7. Also not used in the beginning. DSP8. Also not used in the beginning. Cool. Okay, so adding them just back together. What? I'm curious where the ticka 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 is. I think maybe it's not a 1 or 2. Ah, it's like in 5 and 6. Fascinating. Okay, so that's Link to the Past. Let's find another one. Oh, Sonic the Hedgehog has great music, so let's check out one from there. Sonic the Hedgehog was like a Sega thing, though he is in some Nintendo console games now. Let's do Sonic 2. This is the one I played a lot when I was a kid. Emerald Hill Zone. If you haven't played Sonic, it's so good. Oh man, that one's so good. Okay, so Emerald Hill Zone, my takes on it, and take your own notes, get your own vibes, see if they match mine if you want. But honestly, if you get different impressions of this track, that's fine. I obviously have like history with this. The Sega Genesis console had great sound. FM refers to FM synthesis, which you'll see that happen in the history chapter when they talk about it. You'll hear that term. So that's what that means. I'm hearing like a high melody, that sort of thing, and then just nutso bass line that's just like just jumping everywhere. We have some accompaniment chords, and the drum sounds are pretty sophisticated, especially compared to like that Mario track that we first listened to. So let's tease this apart. Let's listen to just FM1. Okay, bass lines in FM1. You can even like write this down. And like they talk about the bass in pop music. You probably know what that is. Feel free to try and use that, right? FM2, what's in here? Cool, very high pitched, like wee, 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 little like weenie melody. All right, FM3. So kind of like supporting FM2. If you hear it before in a different channel, try like clicking on it and see if it overlaps well. Let's see what FM4 is. Similar sounds to 2 and 3. Here's FM5. Very cool. Okay, so that has some like little like high-pitched, cute little high-pitched sounds. Here's FM6. Let's see what's there. Oh, bunch of nothing. Okay. All right. Still nothing. Still nothing. Okay. PCM. I actually don't know what PCM stands for. Oh, drums. Okay, PCM is clearly some kind of drum synthesizer. And PSG. Kind of a combination of things, which I didn't know you could even pull off. Cool. And again, like all together, here's that first 10 seconds. I find when you tease apart the layers too, you hear everything a little bit more. So fully, even, it might not be the whole track that you listen to, or I mean, if it's act clear at 6 seconds, it could be the whole track. Again, I love that. It's so good. Okay, let's do one more game. Final Fantasy. I think it has to be Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy VI is like a weirdly well-studied game in video game music literature, so we're going to talk about it. Might as well get it in there. Let's see what track is not too long. Iconic. Okay. Final Fantasy fanfare happens at the end of a battle. Everyone that's played a Final Fantasy recognizes this theme. It happens, I think, in like every game. It's so good. We have 8 channels, so let's take it apart. Let's try just number 1. Okay, some sort of trumpet sound. Let's try 2. So DSP 1 and 2 are kind of same sound but harmonized with each other. Nice. Okay, let's see what's in 3. Oh. Okay. Also kind of horn fanfare, there you go. Horn sound but lower in pitch. DSP 4, is it the same? Oh, okay, we have like a bass guitar sound here. Cool. Bass guitar is so fun in these games. There are a lot of like game cover bands and the bass player has a big job. Okay, here's DSP 5. Like a electric guitar sound almost. Cool. Okay, DSP 6. Drum sounds. Okay. Got some drum sounds. Cymbal sounds. Amazing. The drum sounds had separate tracks at this point, which is great. This was not the case for NES stuff, so SNES was more sophisticated this way. Ah, okay. DSP 8 has the kick drum. So you put 6, 7, 8 together, you have the drum track. Four and 5 are guitars. Or whatever 4 is. I think 4 is a guitar. Could be anything though. Okay, and then 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. Okay, let's just listen to that all together once before we wrap up. So yeah, jumpy bass, horn everywhere, fairly happy, faster tempo. This is because of the sound and also just because this game is super famous, and it happens in, all the versions that I played. I played a couple of them. I didn't play all the Final Fantasy games, but it's just it's like a happy, uplifting, like an I won sort of game. So I hope that was helpful. I hope it gave you some idea of what I'm looking for here. I want you to be authentically you as you explore this track, but try to be as specific as you can with your terms, and I look forward to reading what you write. Bye everyone.